Have you ever been asked to do a certain task and your immediate response was, I can't? Or you once thought, I can't get an A on this test, I can't do this, I can't do that? Well, on a Cardio Bear website, an article I read stated that when you say, I can't, you set off a number of responses in your brain that reinforce the idea that make you susceptible to even more negativity. And negativity can be harmful in several ways by worsening depression, causing anxiety and stress, disrupting your nervous system, and can actually increase your risk for cardiovascular disease. So instead of suffering from negative effects, you should instead start practicing more positive thoughts and acting on them. So if you constantly live your life saying, I can't, then you'll never reach your true potential. But if you start saying, I can, then you can reach every goal you've set. And now I want everyone to stop saying I can't and start saying I can and just being more motivated. And motivation that you start saying and believing yourself is saying, I can do it. I can accomplish that. I can accomplish my goal. I can do much better. I can and I will. And now I'd like to talk to you guys about this hypothetical situation. All right, I see my neighbor walking his dog in his backyard. I walk up to him, and after making several conversations and greeting him, I ask him, can you build this fence? And his response was, I can't. And that's when I start changing his perspective. After he said, I can't, I said, why not? And he says, because I don't have the supplies. So I hand him the keys to my car, and I said, go to the store. And he goes, I can't, because I can't buy the supplies because I don't have money. So I hand him some cash, and I said, look, now you have the keys to my car, and cash in your hands, you can go and get the supplies. So after about 30 minutes, he comes back, has all the supplies, looks up in the sky, and then says, no, I really can't build a fence. And I said, well, why not? And he said, it's because it's about to rain. So I handed him a poncho, and I said, look, you had the money, you had the supplies, and you can build a fence staying dry. Earlier you said you can't, but after working with you and cooperating with you, you can now build this fence. So now after about an hour passed, I now have a barrier between my yard and his, so he can keep his dog on his yard. But moving on from that story, I want to discuss the importance of keeping a positive mindset from setting a goal and an objective to accomplish. If you set a realistic goal, then you're more determined to say, I can't. But if it starts to seem unrealistic, or you know that you don't exactly have this path to follow, then you're going to say, I can't. And that's because you have no one guiding you. You have no one telling you, hey, this is what you should do. This is how it can be done. Instead, you think you're alone, but you're not. If you just ask for a little bit of assistance or stay a bit more determined, then you can. And now, also, according to the Science of Success, Heidi Grant Halverson, PhD, what she said that I can't is actually a choice. It's a restriction. It's being imposed upon you. And thinking I can't actually undermines your sense of power and personal agency. And now once you catch yourself saying I can't, or I can't have this, I can't do that, then beware that you actually can. You just choose not to. And that's why when you need to ask yourself, well, why can't you do this certain work? More than anything, the answer is that you actually can. And now when you say I can't, it's actually all about your perspective. Okay? When you say I can't do this because I will fail, it's actually a hidden acronym. Because fail is a negative word. It's failure, but instead start looking at the acronym, and fail actually means first attempt in learning. Or if you think something is going to come to an end, you don't see a result happening. It actually means effort never dies. And last but not least, you have the word no, which is a word we often hear more than anything. And when you hear no, you start to feel denied, rejected, a bit sad. But you need to know that it actually means next opportunity. Let's say you go for a job interview, and after the job interview you ask, do I have the job? And they say no. Well, just know that it's a next opportunity. Learn from your mistakes and know that the next job that lies ahead of you, you can get. You just got to stay a little bit more motivated and positive. So now after this speech and everything I've told you guys, I want you guys to start saying I can more instead of I can't. Stop thinking so negative and start thinking more positive. Thank you.